The Honorable Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit, who himself studied abroad and returned home, says opting to live in Dominica or elsewhere is a personal decision. The Prime Minister was asked whether there was a program in place to attract Dominican graduates overseas to come back home. He says there are individuals who were employed in Dominica and others who own the businesses and, having acquired a green card, opted to migrate.
There are people who have decided to come back. So in my case, for example, I went to school. I did not get any money from the government to go to school. I got a job in Jackson, Mississippi, but I decided to come back to go and teach at the Boston Secondary School where I left. You know, so it is and for the same salary at the time. So it is a personal decision people have to make. There are opportunities in our country. We have to stop looking at the glass half empty rather than half full. But the reality is, let us be fair. There are people who are in developed countries, Dominicans, but are not working. And in some cases, even homeless. So why the hell do you want to stay in a country that you're homeless and don't have a job, instead of coming to your country and taking the opportunities? How do we have Haitians sending $25 million out of our country annually? Where did they get money from? You know, and I think that we have to start looking at our degrees as investment tools. You know, how do I use my degree to make money?
The Prime Minister says there are options for returning Dominican graduates who wish to create wealth.
Agriculture is a major area. I specialize largely in limes, and I do make some money in limes alone. And so there are opportunities. I'm not saying that all of the opportunities which are required exist in Dominica. I'm not aware of any country that has that. But we have to come in there. So I don't think you don't need an incentive to come back to work in your country. What we have done for many young people in recognition of their diligence and coming to Dominica, we paid off 40% of your student loans. So if you had a balance of $100,000, the Treasury of Dominica paid $40,000 to you. My hope is that the youngster can take that $40,000 and invest it in something else. We are now going to be building homes for young Dominicans who are resident in Dominica, young professionals, and sell these homes at a highly discounted rate, as a sign, as an effort to motivate and to encourage and so forth. But at the end of the day, we make choices.
The Prime Minister wants to see a paradigm shift in people's attitudes towards the acquisition of wealth.
We have to look at the glass half full rather than half empty, and recognize that no country on this world is perfect. There are challenges, but the reality is, I rather struggle in Dominica than struggle in some other country. That's the harsh reality, and I think that we have to, those of us who are still out and contemplating whether we come back, and let us start afresh and see where you can place yourself with the skills and knowledge that you require to make a contribution, yes, but also to build financial wealth for yourself. But the other thing too, I think we have to address in Dominica is this cultural attitude that we have where we do not celebrate success. We do not celebrate success. And those success who we celebrate are those who we should not be celebrating success. And so we have to start celebrating success. And for me, this is why we are addressing certain structural and systemic issues by way of policies and legislation, because we have to set the platform and the environment for people to become wealthy. If everybody in this country is poor, then what's going to happen to the country? But not everybody who can get wealthy at the same time. And therefore we have to ensure that we in Dominica encourage people and facilitate people to build financial wealth, and hoping that they can use this extra financial help to invest more and create jobs and and grow the economy.
The Prime Minister says it's not just about acquiring wealth, but enjoying that wealth could serve to inspire others to build financial wealth.
We can't have money in the bank and every time we go on mobile banking and watch how much money we have and spend it. Let's enjoy life, and so that those of us who have it, we enjoying it, and so we serve as sort of motivation for people. But it makes no sense, you have money and you're driving a 25-year-old vehicle because you want people to think that you're poor. Give me a break. So we have to change this mentality in this country, and I think this is one of the things that can get young people to be more progressive and more excited about the society, rather than those who have money walking the streets, almost dragging themselves, pretending to be poor.